What's going on, Tamers? It's your boy Dan from DigiGuard United, bringing you guys another TBL meta snapshot. Today is going to be probably a little bit shorter one because our second one of the week was a little bit smaller, so it's not going to be too much to jump into when it comes to the second TBL for this week. But if you guys would like to, join our TBLs, if you don't know what time it is, we host from Wednesdays and Friday at 7 p.m. Signups are easily the day before, or sometimes, or at least in the morning of Monday and Fridays. Wednesdays and Fridays. So, come through, show up, and win some cool prizes, and get some competitive gameplay in. First, let's look at TBL number 54. As you can see, we have Shady Water winning it with Deep Savers. Can't wait to jump into that. Super hype for Deep Savers to do well in our tournaments. Then we got Rocks with Ancient Guru. He's been a menace with that deck since he's this season. Then we have JJR Benis. I don't know how you say it, with red purple Imperial. And then more Atheists with blue green Imperial. Cool to see both Imperials in the top 4. Let's look at Deep Savers. We got a pretty standard list when it comes to your rookies. I feel like these are probably your main rookies you want to play in Deep Savers. The Crabmon that can draw, something like that. Gives blocker, my bad. I'm playing give blocker and inheritable jamming. Plus he's DS, so that matters. Your Goma searches for DS trade plus CB/Plesiosaur. Being able to search out your most important piece, in my opinion. Super important. And then inheritable, if you have 7 or less fewer cards in your hand, draw one, which is pretty good. And then Sangomon, he lets you search top 3, grab any card that's Aqua Sea Animal, so basically the whole deck, and then a liberated traded card. So for him, that would be this guy right here, Marine Bullmon. Not running the Tamer, so he's gonna be with him most times or not. Or you can grab himself, because Sango is a liberated trader, so you can grab himself. One of the few rookies that can search another rookie, which is pretty cool. Then we got the champion level. The promo Digimon is so good, being able to Digivolve. One of your Digimon can't be deleted. You got the new DS Digimon that lets you win attack and gain a memory, and then inheritable jamming, which is pretty cool. And then he's running the Zekemon. This one is on play when Digivolve. Return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to the hand. Get rid of those pesky floodgates, because floodgates can't impact this deck with memory gain, playing things by effects, and all that good stuff. So pretty good to have that to get rid of them. Then it has 5 spots. You got 4 Marine Bullmon, which you can decode, which is cool, I guess. On play when you evolve, you may place one Digimon card with Aqua Sea Animal and its traits from your hand as one of your Digimon's bottom illusion card, which is pretty cool. And inheritable, end of attack, you may play one level 4 lower Digimon card with Aqua Sea Animal from your sources without the cost, which is pretty good. That's probably the best part. You probably just want to Evo immediately and go into your Plesio or Metal Seizure, as you can see. And for the new Mega Seizuremon, pretty good card. Being able to use him and a Plesio to DNA is pretty good. He's able to have effects as well when attacking once per turn. If you have 1 or more memory, one of your opponent's Digimon can't suspend, so they can't block him. He is basically unblockable. He's redirectable, but not blockable when you have 1 or more memory. And then when attacking by placing one of your other Digimon as this Digimon's bottom source, that's unsuspend, that's the inheritable. Metal Seizuremon Ace is awesome. Being able to Digivolve and then bounce things is really good. Just a really all-around good card. And then all turns while you have 1 or more memory, none of your opponent's Digimon can suspend. Again, that same effect. And then the 4 of Plesio, again, like I mentioned before, probably the most important card in the deck to be able to get into your Aegis plays. When Digivolve, you may play 1 level 4 lower Digimon from the source without the cost, and then your turn when a Digimon is played, you can DNA to your Digimon. Aegis counts for Metal Seizuremon, which is pretty good. Not Metal Seizuremon, Mega Seizuremon. When Digivolve, return to 14 play cost, total worth of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Such a good effect. Even if you're not DNA, you're just getting rid of things, which is super good. DNA Digivolve, and then you can play up to 12 play costs worth of stuff from your sources. Super good. And then he has the floodgate effects of while you have one or more memory, none of your DS traded Digimon are affected by your opponent's effects. Digimon effects. Let's rephrase. Digimon effects. And then while you have one or less, none of your opponent's Digimon can activate on play effect, which is pretty good. Not like this craziest effect for that part because you can get around it with just Digivolve effects. So you have something to Digivolve or something like that as an Evo, you're good to go. And then your options is not bad. You got 3 Mem Boost, 2 Scrambles. He only's running 1 DS, which is pretty crazy to me, especially if you're running a Deep Saver deck, only running 1 of the option. That option is so good to hit in security. So I don't know. For me personally, I gotta see at least maybe 3 for me. And then he has 3 trainings, which is like pretty expected. But I get what he's doing. He's trying to get through the deck as fast as possible. It's kind of like what old Aqua Sea Animal type decks used to be pre the Liberators. You just run maximum amounts of boosts and trainings, and then that's your it. And then you just keep playing them, and then you do your big pop off turn. So I expect that's how it's same concept it is for this version, which is pretty good. And since it's all blue, basically, you're never whiffing, so you can keep that consistency as well. Like the issues with what's it called? NSP has Nature Spirits. They have that issue where you can't be linear with your colors, and you have to play multiple different colors, and you can't really run those boosts or anything like that. Next, this one's gonna be a quick one because we've been seeing this deck pop off. It's the Angar, what's it called? Boff Ancient Guru, we're calling it here. I think the only difference is I see the Spademon. For anyone who doesn't know what this does, handmade by paying 1 cost and placing this card as the bottom Digimon card of one of your Digimons that's level 3 or has Legends trait, draw 1. So it's just basically a 1 cost draw 1 for them. And then on play, by trashing 1 card with a Legend Arms trait, draw 2. You're never going to get that. Inheritable, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3k DP or less. So I guess the idea is you're going to go into your Gabu, right? Raise Gabu effect. If you need a card, you draw 1. You go into your Lobo play. You go into Angar, and then you swing, get rid of something that's pretty pesky. And then maybe bounce something that's lower, because if you have lower, Angar's effect is lowest level, I believe it is, or lowest DP or something like that. Return on your opponents with the lowest level to the hand, exactly. So that effect, since it's when attacking, you can kill something that's a rookie on board and then bounce something that's bigger potentially. I'm sure that probably popped up, and that's why he's running it. So it's a pretty spicy tech, I would say. And everything else is the same from last time. You see the Gabus, the Lobo plus the OG Kendo. He's running the Garurumon Ace, 4 Angars, 2 Boffs, and then the array of options that we see, plus the array of Tamers as well. Still a pretty good deck. I don't know if it's good enough for maybe a regional at the moment. Maybe depending on what happens in the future ban list, this could potentially be a menace again in like actual like big tournaments and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. Next we got is Red Purple Imperial. Red Purple Imperial is, you know, pretty much the same. You have to run certain cards like the Wormmons, the Vmons. He's running the Sethmon, which is pretty interesting. It does delete things randomly, which is pretty cool. OG Shadra and Flamedramon, super important. He got the promo one, I think. This is the promo, I think. Let's see, promo. Yeah, it's the promo one. Super important card in my opinion. Has to be a 4 of. Just too good. Being able to play your other Digimon from your trash, and then you Evo and climb up. You DNA, pop off. Your low 5s. This is the go to Dinomon, the best card in the deck in my opinion, because it helps you set up so much easier. OG Dino B as well, and 3 of the Imperialdramon. There's no other Imperialdramon that you're really gonna play at the moment until the next set comes out. And so super needed. Being able to just climb up, Evo, it's just crazy, right? You just you have 2 Digimon on board, 2 rookies. You Evo 1, the other one Evos, then they DNA, effect, play your other low 5 from trash for your DNA, affected of the dragon mode, and then go into fighter mode, whichever one you want to go into. Pretty good. Speaking of dragon mode, is the dragon mode. It lets you blitz, and then when attacking, this Digimon gets plus 2k for the turn. Then this Digimon may Digimon to fighter mode from your hand. Cool thing about it is not color restricted, so that's why you see this ace play right here. You're allowed, and when Digivolve in DNA, choose one of their Digimon, delete all their other Digimon as well. Your opponent chooses, so they can choose whichever one. And then the fighter modes kind of deal with the rest of it. This lets you bounce, I think it is. Return one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer digital cards as this Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Pretty easy to do that on this deck because your DNA is so much that you're going to definitely have more sources. And then the OG fighter mode, piercing when Digivolve by returning a dragon mode from the source to the bottom of this deck. None of your opponent's Digimon, none of your opponent's security effects can activate. It's pretty good. And then you just delete all their sources. Pretty crazy is if you have the fighter mode plus the Shadramon plus the like the new Dino B in your stack, you can potentially play like 5 bodies, because this Unleashing play, you may play 1 Wormmon, 1 Vmon from your trash. Obviously, Partition allows you to play a purple, low, and a red. So that means that's 4 bodies potentially. All right, because you may play 1 of each specified color. Yep. And then if you have the Shadra underneath it, Unleashing, you may play 1 Wormmon or 1 Wormmon or Vmon from your hand. So you're potentially playing 5 bodies if that fighter mode dies, which is crazy to me. And then you just set up for next turn again, because they can't deal all those bodies. You're going to be able to climb up again, which is pretty good. Then the options, calling, must. Interesting is running this Grape Mem boost. This one searches purple or green. So this basically gets you any of your Wormmons, most of your champions outside of Imperialdramon and the Vmon, and then it gets you the blue-green fighter mode as well, which is pretty good. You got purple scram, just doing things. Pretty easy for this deck to abuse it, right? If they clear your board, you scramble, you play a Wormmon or something like this one right here. I'll play if it's your turn. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into low 4 Digimon with the Insectoid trait. So you go to the Shadra. This one lets you play a Wormmon Vmon. And let's say you have this, right? You can waste all the memory. Let's say they put you to 2, 1, doesn't matter, right? Pop this, play the Wormmon, Evo to the Shadra, affect the Shadra, play the Vmon, and then you just pop off, right? You can even, like, if you have it for whatever reason, play the other Wormmon, play another one of this, Evo into like a Imperialdramon, and you can do all that and then swing turn anyways because you have a mem setter. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. And you just pop off and you still haven't like drawn your card, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I don't know how often that type of play happens, but I'm sure like if it happens, man, you're just winning. I just don't feel like you can lose at that point when that happens. And then analog use is 4 as a must because you want to fill your trash as much as possible. And to get there, search trash, great card. And finally, we got the OG Imperial, right? Pretty standard, ain't nothing crazy. It's just Imperial doing Imperial things. Being able to have all your Vmon searchers, your promo ones that lets you Evo for a cheaper cost. Wormmon allows you Evo from trash. You got the memory gaining champions and your Imperialdramon that has Partition. I feel like this one right here, that's a 2 of. In my opinion, when it comes to Imperial, this is the worst one easily. And like I don't think it's playable. I would rather have this one over that one just because it's easy. You're able to just continue with the ability to just swing, which is pretty good in my opinion for this deck. You want to go burr as much as possible, and I feel like you don't go as burr with this one, but like I get it why it's there too. Removing sources is always really good, and stunning things really good, you know. I get it though. Then the 3-2 split for your dragon modes and fighter mode. Paladin mode, go to card. 3 returns to the Primogenitor, it was pretty crazy. This card is so cracked. This card might be getting hit for the ban list. Rumors, just rumors. Hearsay, he say, she say, type of things, you know. We'll see when that ban list comes out. And then 3 of the Jade memory boosts, being able to search top 3, grab a green or blue Digimon. It's pretty good. An extra consistency piece. As you can see, he's not running anything like a Mega Death or Giga Death. He's just trying to go burr as fast as possible, which is pretty good in my opinion. Next is Tamer Battle League number 55. As you can see, we only got 2 players to talk about. We got the winner, Leppy, with Dinomon, I like to call him. And then Coach as the runner-up. This was a very small TBL, unfortunately. I think it was like 5 players, 4 or 5 players. I think it was 5. We still running. We want to stream. We love streaming, so that's why we still do it anyways. And I know a lot of players like to play as well, so you know, down day unfortunately, but it is what it is. And we'll hop into the 2 deck list. First off, Dinomon. I'm always gonna say Dinomon because it's just funny as hell. Whoever wants to correct me, you can try to. It's just never gonna change. But all jokes aside, this deck list is a little different than I would expect from me personally. We'll hop into it. Rookies. Agumon the Searcher is a must, no questions asked. The starter deck Agumon. I feel like you can just, I don't know, use something else. There's definitely different Agumons that's better than that one. Like I prefer the EX4 Agumon, be able to start your main phase. If you have a red Tamer, you draw one, and then Inheritable to be able to or gain a memory, whatever it is, or draw, whatever it is. And you can, yeah, you gain a memory. Inheritable, you draw one when you suspend a red Tamer. I think that's something that's more important for the deck than this. There's many ways to boost in the deck, so like, this card is irrelevant in my opinion. But hey, it worked out for Leppy. And then for Ukos, this is what I was talking about when making my dance top 5 decks I'm excited about for EXA. The black Agumon that has retail inheritable kind of is like whatever. If I were to make it more competitive, I would play Ukumon, and I have in real life to put the Ukumons in just because the deck needs more searching. There's not much searching going on the deck besides the Agumon, and so I think it's kind of needed. And then he trying to get spicy. He's running the Rush Guilmon and the starter deck Guilmon. We'll talk about the Rush Guilmon first. Cool thing about them, they're all traded, so you can evo for the 2 cost cheaper. The 1 cost cheaper, I mean, for this Tyrannomon, I think it is. Yeah, Reptile. So they're both Reptile, which is cool. This on play has Rush if both players adds up to 20 more cards in their trash. I don't know how often the Rush pops up. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I mean, you can give it Rush and then evo into your Tyrannomons and then swing out, which is pretty cool, right? You just have to have the memory to do all that. So it's a lot to ask for in this type of deck. This deck is very memory, I don't know what to say, not memory efficient at times, right? Because all your Tyrannomons are a 3 cost evo. Like this Tyrannomon is a 3 cost evo. This one is, I believe, can be a 2 cost evo. And then this is a 3 cost evo if it's not over a Tyrannomon. So at times it could be a little rough, but hey, he's the one at top with it, right? So cool idea, right? Again, 3 memory. That's a lot to ask for to use. You play that, you gain Rush, you evo 2. Let's say you're perfect, right? You evo into this. That's 2 cost. That's 5 memory. Evo to Tyranno X free, and now you can just Tyranno X swing evo to one of the low 5s, and then have Ryotaro evo to Dinomon, which is pretty cool. I'm sure that doesn't really come up too often, but it could work. I mean, I think it could also evo from this. No, all right, cool. And then the other Guilmon, this one you're never gonna warp because obviously you don't have no Gallimon in this deck. Medieval doesn't count. Inheritable, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, you draw one, which is pretty good. Another way to draw in this deck is important in my opinion, so I can see that card being played. Champion lineup, 3 of the Tyrannomon that can play Ryotaro for free, which is pretty good. Inheritable 2K. This one, At the end of the battle, play this Digimon. Starting your main phase, this Digimon gets plus 3k, which is pretty cool. He's not running the other Tyrannomon from BT14 that reduces evo cost, which I think that kind of it's hard to say, just because the deck, there's so many different Tyrannomons and this deck is kind of tight in space. I think that one's pretty important to be able to reduce your evo costs even more, because that one says start your main phase, all your Tyrannomons can evo for like 1 less, which is super good. And it's not just like a once per turn thing, it's every time you evo, you reduce the cost. So I think that's pretty important. I don't know. He's not running in this version. 4 Tyranno X's is a must. There's no questions asked. This card plus Ryotaro is the most important cards in the deck, in my opinion. This lets you have raid. It lets you evo while swinging as well, so you can swing, evo, go into Metal Tyranno or Master Tyranno, and then Ryotaro go into Dinomon. Super good, super important. Plus piercing. If you raid into something, it's kind of crazy in my opinion. And then ultimates, 4 of each of the new Metal Tyranno, Master Tyranno. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't run those as your ultimates. There's no need to run the old Master Tyrannomon or old Metal Tyrannomon, in my opinion. Whoever plays this deck and you try it and it works, hey, let us know, because I don't know, I just don't see any reason for it. And then at level 6 and up, 4 Dinos. Obviously, right? 2 medieval. Honestly, I think that's the only support you need is medieval Garurumon as your secondary ultimate, as your secondary mega. Sorry. And then his top end, his level 7 is the Agumon. So here is my gripe though with the Guillemons and Ukomons, right? Reason why I stuck with all the Agumons was because of this card. This allows you to warp, blast Digivolve into your over your Agumons when you're at 2 or fewer security. You can also warp on your turn as well. And I think having that consistency, being able to do that with your Bond of Bravery is super important. Obviously, it's not your main focus, but like having that option there is pretty good. That's why I run EX1 Agumon, the EX4 Agumon and stuff like that in my version, just because I value that ability to bond from the Agumon. And then options, 3 Garnets, so the search is 1 red or black Digimon, which I can understand for sure. Everything is red and everything is black. Well, not black, but your Metal Tyrannomon is black, so you can grab that off of it. Then you have training, 2 scrambles, and then Ryotaro. Ryotaro is so important to the deck. It's no question asked, a 4 of in the deck. Card is too good. And finally, we have Coach's Dorumon deck, Dorogoro deck. Nothing really to talk about. Like I told him, the next time I talk about this deck, I'm not going to put too much time into it. This deck list is the exact same as previously. He is a wizard with this deck. This is his favorite deck, so he does well most times when he's playing this deck. Not much to talk about besides that. And that's it. That's a wrap for this week's meta snapshot. If you guys like this comment, hit that like button. Comment below what do you think about these meta snapshots on these deck lists. You know what I'm surprised we haven't seen? Just quick note I just thought about. Ain't no Garurumons or purple hybrid this time around, which is pretty crazy to me. So with that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.